Teicher. She sacked him. A great bull rush by Chris Jones.
He's not banking on the skill that he's been blessed with.
It's on Kelsey. Great catch. Touchdown. Kansas City, the 10. Still not down. Oh, what a run. Out of this world. Sinks it up the middle. Intercepted. Intercepted by Matthew. The Honey Badger doesn't care.
As I said at the end of the broadcast, the trophy stays here. The Lamar Hunt Trophy is going to stay in Kansas City. The Chiefs are AFC champions for a second straight year. Let's go right to the podium, to the man now that's top 5 in playoff wins in NFL history, Big Red Andy Reid.
All right, on the injury front, so we had a couple guys get hurt. Fish, it doesn't look too good with his Achilles. Monty Watts has a head injury, and so does Snead. So I think those guys will be okay. I'm proud of our guys for the great job that they did. The exciting atmosphere. Fans were unbelievable. My hat goes off to all the people that allowed us to get to this position. Mark Donovan and his crew for allowing to have actual fans in the stadium the whole year and it being productive that way. And all the people that were involved in making that possible, starting with Clark Hunt on down for having a vision there. And so, and then listen, our fans were incredible as always. I mean, we don't have a lot of them in there, but they were extremely loud. And so we appreciate that too. Anyways, I thought it was a good team win. I thought all the 3 coordinators had a nice plan, and the coaches did a nice job with it, and then the players, most of all, believed in it and went out and executed and played their tail off. And so what a great opportunity for Kansas City and for the organization to have the opportunity of going back to Tampa and playing the home team there, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in their stadium, which is the first time that's ever happened with a team. So, listen, we're honored to be there, and we've got work to get done before we have an opportunity to get down there. So, anyways, with that, by the way, I'm also very proud of where the Buffalo Bills are and Sean McDermott and the great job that he's done. It's great for the National Football League. It's great for the city of Buffalo to have the Bills back like they are, and they're a heck of a football team. And Sean's a big part of that, obviously. So anyways, with that, time's yours.
Let's go first to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Andy, a couple things. Is Fisher's Achilles injury, is it a tear?
We think so. We haven't got that far with it, but it doesn't look good, I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'm glad that's the only thing that you had to ask me.
No, I actually have a football question, too.
All right, good.
Pat had a lot to overcome this week. When did you know that he just wasn't going to play, but he was going to play as well as he did today?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he came out and he practiced. He did a great job with it all week. He was on a limited basis early with the protocol that he was having to deal with. and yet he just kept positive with it. He did just what he told you guys he did. He stayed positive with every part of it, whether it was the toe, whether it was his head, the protocol, the things that he had to do with that. And, he worked his way through it. I'll tell you, I think the trainers and he had a good plan for the toe. I mean, that was an amazing looking thing after our last game and how black and blue it was. And within a day, the trainers and Pat, with his diligence of taking care of business at his home too, with the game ready machine, they were able to get that swelling and the black and blue out, and which really allowed him to recover quite a bit quicker.
We'll go next to Sam Mellinger. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Andy. Last year you had said that you guys never really got to your ceiling. I'm just curious, as you guys go into another Super Bowl, how close do you think you guys are to sort of what you can be?
Listen, I mean, we got room to get better. I mean, we can improve. we had a couple of things that went a little haywacky today, but we stayed on course and we did a lot of good things. So we did more good things than bad things. But this job's a little bit like, and I'm talking about players and coaches, like being a farmer. And the work's never done. You can always work to get better and as a team. So that's what we're going to do here the next couple of weeks. We're playing a heck of a football team in the Buccaneers.
Let's go next to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach, after McCole Hardman had the muffed punt, how important was it to keep him involved in the game? And what did you say to him after that?
Yeah, so listen, just bear down, focus in, man. Just watch it all the way into the tuck, basic fundamentals. And Dave is the one who talked to him about all that and got him going. Greg Lewis talked to him. So, and then he was thrown back out there and given another chance. So, and he's made plays for the last couple of years since he's been here. He's made plays. And so that was, he had a muff and keep him in and let's go, right? So that's what we did. Herbie, Doug got it.
Let's go next to Aaron Ladd. Go ahead, Aaron.
Coach, I mean, a crazy 2020 with the pandemic and an election on top of everything. Your locker room, the guys in there have offered a sense of normalcy to this city. Is there anything that you can kind of wrap your head around that and offer for that?
Yeah, listen, I mean, we feel bad for the people that have suffered from this and some have lost their lives, but we also know that a positive can come out of this and something for people that are suffering a little bit to live for. And so I think that's been a real plus for the guys and for the city. I mean, and probably, listen, if you look at the National Football League right now, it's probably great for the nation and it gives them hope. And that's right now, that's what we need. And you know, stay safe and move forward.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go, Pete.
Coach, congrats on the win. If you're nitpicking the team this year a little bit, one of the problems that you guys had a lot of the time was red zone defense, and that was one of the strengths that led you to the victory tonight. Just what did you see from those guys and maybe was clicking when it got down to the red zone? Yeah,
Pete, they've been like working their tail off to fix that problem, and so you know I have a chance to watch it every day, and they've gone over it and over and over it, and I think they, you know, that it's paid off for them, in particular in this game. So we got one more game to even get ourselves a little bit better at it, and that's what we'll work on.
Let's go next to Jarrett Bell. Go ahead, Jarrett.
How you doing, Jarrett?
Hey, Andy, how's it going?
Good, thank you.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you.
So you guys fell behind 9-0 today, just like in the playoffs last year, and you had a lot of, you know, close calls the second half of the season. How are you feeling about the psyche of your team, the resilience when you get into these types of situations?
Yeah, listen, I think everybody knows, on our team at least, they trust that we can score quickly if needed. And I mean, you know, we always want to score. That sounds bad. I mean, but we need to do that sooner. I'm telling you that as a coach, but I think everybody has confidence that if we get behind, we've got enough power there to get it right and try to fix whatever problems we've had and put points on the board. So, you know, I'm proud of the guys for that resiliency that they have. You know, and we were able to put a couple points on the board tonight, and you know, it worked out okay.
We'll go last two, Sam McDowell and then Vahe. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Andy.
All right, Sam.
I'm wondering, you know, I realized that pretty quickly your focus will shift to Tampa Bay, but I'm wondering if you could appreciate just the magnitude of a Mahomes versus Brady matchup there.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like we've had a couple of those, and every one of them is tremendous. And I wouldn't expect this to be any different. They got a tremendous team there. So, and those two have a lot of respect for each other. You remember when Tom came into the locker room after the championship game and talked to Patrick, and Patrick responded like, you know, a young guy would respond to the GOAT. And so, you know, we look forward to the opportunity to play them. And I know Pat does with Tom, and likewise Tom, I'm sure, does, you know, with Pat. So should be a heck of a football game.
We'll go last to Vahe Gregorian. Go ahead, Vahe.
Hey, Andy, congratulations. And Matt, I'll try to have a quick follow-up too. But I wonder, Andy, if you could just describe what what this says about Patrick to be certainly not able to do everything all week fully. I know he did most things, but just what testament this is to what he gives you, I guess, in a new way.
Yeah, well, listen, you guys are seeing him grow right in front of you here. So he's a homegrown right here in Kansas City for the National Football League part of it. And I think you're seeing the steps that he's taken. And I sit there and I'm an old guy that's seen a couple pretty good quarterbacks, and I just keep going, this guy seems to amaze me a little bit more every game. So I'm proud of the way he handles it most of all, though. He doesn't, you guys aren't writing stories of this guy's got a big head, this and that. He's showing people up, and no, he's about the team, and he's all in, and he works his tail off, and he does it the right way, which is important. It's important for longevity for his career, for success for the Kansas City Chiefs, and obviously now for the Super Bowl.
And then the follow-up, Andy, is just obviously you've got that other game that's going to be the signature of the season, but this was quite a feat to get back to a Super Bowl. It doesn't happen very often. Are you able to put that in perspective compared to last year?
Well, I will when I get about 2 seconds to sit down. That's what I'm going to sit there and I'm going to go, doggone, how about this one? Vahe, man alive. This is better than, almost beating Miami that year when we were at Missouri. They were number one in the country, and we had them right there. It took Colorado. I'm bringing you back on history here. It took Colorado 5 downs to beat us. I remind Eric Bieniemy of that all the time. But I will when I have a chance to sit down and think about it, I'm sure. But we've got some work that we got to get done, and we understand that. The guys understand that.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Okay. Hey, guys. Just as an opening statement, I'm obviously very proud of the team tonight, the effort they put forward. Really thought it was one of the best games that we'd played all year. It's incredible just to get back to the AFC Championship game, much less win it and get to go to Tampa with an opportunity to win another Lombardi trophy. I can't speak highly enough about the job that Andy's done the entire year. This year had more challenges and more distractions than any football year in recent memory. And Andy did a great job of leading him through that, keeping him focused, and the performance tonight showed it.
We'll go first to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Clark, congratulations. Wanted to revisit the decision to run it back. Obviously, it looks like it's worked out, at least so far, but was that a difficult decision to come to maybe bring back this group of guys as opposed to maybe make some changes and try to bring some fresh blood in here like you did the year before?
It really wasn't. And I credit Brett Veach for the job he did with our roster. Obviously, most of the starters were the same ones we had last year, but there were a few changes. As he does every year, he found good players who could fill those roles. But really, when we brought the nucleus of this team together, the idea was to have a team that would be together for a number of years. Many of the key contributors were very young when we either drafted them or signed them as free agents. And we're just watching the group grow up in front of our eyes.
We'll go next to Todd Lebo. Go ahead, Todd.
Clark, you mentioned a little bit about just the enormity of this year and trying to get through everything you guys had to do. Was there ever a point, at any point in the offseason with everything that was going on in the world where you thought, I don't know if there's even going to be a football season, or are you going to get to where you're going to be a couple weeks away from the Super Bowl?
I think in the spring and early summer, many of us had a lot of uncertainty about how this was going to unfold. I don't think we knew for sure that you could play football safely. that the virus would not be passed on the football field. Those were just things we didn't know. And it was really a step-by-step process for the league and all the teams to figure out how to do it this year. And credit to the medical staffs at the league, at the Players Association, and with each team on the job they did navigating and coming up with the protocols that allowed us to play. I mean, the fact that we've made it now to the Super Bowl without a game canceled, I think is a testament to how good the protocols were and the job that everybody has done to follow those protocols so that we can be at this point.
Let's go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hello, Clark. Congratulations. I'm wondering if there is a specific example given today's win where you can look back and see the true impact of the importance of the leadership from Patrick and Andy on the team that led to today's success.
Well, I think if you look at the last 7 or so games that we played before the Charger game at the end of the season, a lot has been made about how close those games were and the fact that they were all one-score games or less. And I think that really speaks to the leadership that we have on the team. That maybe even though the team wasn't at our best on those days, the leaders on the team found a way to get it done. Some weeks it was the offense, some weeks it was the defense, and some weeks the special teams contributed that. But to me, that's really a sign of great leadership. They had each other's back throughout the season and allowed us to get through and get to the playoffs. And then the performance today, I don't know that it was a complete game, but it was one of the best for sure.
Got time for a couple more. We'll do Pete and then Vahe. Go ahead, Pete.
Clark, congrats on all the success. I know when you took over as chairman in the mid-2000s, you would always hope that the Chiefs would be this model franchise that could do something like have a franchise quarterback with a rapport with the head coach and go to multiple Super Bowls, things like that. Now that your plan is finally coming to fruition, I just was curious how it feels to maybe be looked at across the NFL of a team that some other team out there might be building toward.
Well, I'm very proud of the group of people that we have here. I guess if there was one thing that I would really, point to, that starts with Andy, Brett Veach, Mark Donovan, the leaders in the locker room. I think that group of people has allowed us to build a team that's a consistent winner and one that can hopefully compete for many championships. I certainly don't take it for granted. It's very, very difficult, as recent history has proved, for teams to get back to the Super Bowl or get back and win the Super Bowl. So our job's not done at this point, but I'm very proud of the guys, and I think it's really a testament to the quality of the people that we have.
We'll go last to Vahe.
The Super Bowl champions of Super Bowl 54 are headed to Super Bowl 55 and number 55. Heck, why not? Number 55 is going to Super Bowl 55. Mitch Holthus, Matt McMullen back with you along with Frank Clark. Josh Allen decided to walk out into the ocean, waded out into the ocean, into the shark-infested waters. What about getting pressure on Josh Allen tonight, time and time again, and what it meant?
It just, hats off to the Bills first and foremost, and Josh Allen and leading that team. Stephen Diggs, all those guys. They had a hell of a run this year, so hats off to them. Was dope to see another team in the AFC competing for a change, you know what I'm saying? But, we did enough to get the job done. Our defense, our offense, collaboratively, us just working together, we just did a hell of a job.
So, Frank, red zone defense was an emphasis coming into this one, obviously, and you guys were stellar in the red zone. In particular, you think about the two Bills possessions to sandwich the half. They get to the 3-yard line, all you give up is a field goal. They get to the 8-yard line, all you give up is a field goal. How important was red zone defense in defending every blade of grass tonight?
Yeah, it was important because, you watch the game, you see a few of those third downs. Josh, again, using his feet, using different things to, keep the drives going and stuff like that. It was a hard game plan because you got this quarterback, who's very elusive, bigger guy. He's you can't really. A few times you watch him, we let him get out the pocket a few times as we was rushing the passer, But we tried our best to contain him and did enough, But it's just a complete effort, like I said before.
Frank, as a follow-up to that, in your mind and in your preparation, because everybody goes, go get a man, go get a shark sack. But how disciplined do you have to be against a quarterback like this every down?
Man, it seemed like all season it was kind of played like that, where it's like you playing these quarterbacks now. We come into this league where 1 week you got Lamar Jackson, the next week you got Tua, the next week you got a guy like Josh. It's like Pat Mahomes. It's like we turn into this league where you got a guy who can throw the ball 60 yards down the field, or he can take off with his feet and he running 4.5 or 4.6. So it's like now we in this league where everything is about detail. Everything is about doing your job. And you find out, you just turn the film on. All you got to do is turn the film on. That's the one thing I always tell people. You turn the film on, you'll see exactly what we're doing. You'll see exactly why we're in the position we're in, why we winning games, and why we playing the way we playing.
So, Frank, knowing you, I'm sure your focus is already on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You're not probably enjoying this one too much, but I'm just curious from your point of view. This year, you guys took everyone's best shot, and every single Super Bowl champion wants to run it back, but you guys actually have gotten now back to the Super Bowl. What's it say about not just your defense, your whole locker room, that you guys found a way to do this and get back to this moment?
Yeah, man, it just showed, our grit. It shows the hard work and, the things that each and every guy, each and every coach, the sacrifices that they had to make to get to this point. It starts at the top and all the way down to the bottom, no matter who it is. From the people upstairs working in the logistics and all that stuff, all the way down to us on the field who's running around, making things happen on the field. It's a full effort, to the schedule. And this has been a difficult year, man, with the whole COVID thing, with, the different, we got to test every day, all this different stuff, so it's kind of been a different type of year, untraditional. So it's kind of been a lot of that, it's kind of at times feel like, it's taken away from the football aspect of everything. But, it's just we locked in. We stay locked in. Andy Reid, he told us in the beginning of the season, we're going to make it if we stay focused. If we continue, we follow the protocols and we do what we have to do. That's how we're going to make it back to where we want to go. And the next job is just finishing it, like you said.
But, Frank, when I was up there with you on that stage last year on the Super Bowl 54 celebration, we talked about how focused and the teamwork, but discipline this year, you've alluded to it, but I want to ask you how difficult it was, like personal sacrifice. This wasn't normal. You didn't get a normal bye week. You didn't get normal holidays. And Coach was saying, you're testing every day at 6 a.m., but this, like, dude, you got to stay on this. What did you have to train your mind to do that to get to this point?
Yeah, myself and along with everybody else. It's a joint effort. Like I said, and it's the personal sacrifice, like you said, to where I got to make a sacrifice and I got to trust and believe that every other man around this locker room is making the same sacrifice. That's the only way we come into this place, every day to do the same thing for 6 months straight. That's the only way we come in here and have that same mentality of running it back. That's something that got to be infectious. You got to. Everybody from the rookies to the most elder players on the team got to believe in that one goal. And I feel like that's what it was. Yeah, you got to sacrifice a lot. Yeah, you might not get a sack every game. Yeah, you might not make every play that you want to make. But shit, going to the Super Bowl, that overshadows everything. When you're able to put yourself and put your team in position to do something that you've never done, I can talk about that for the rest of my life. I've had multiple times where I've had 10-plus sack seasons, and I've had all these stats and galore, but I didn't have a ring. I didn't have a championship. I wasn't competing for nothing. That feeling alone is worse than anything in the world. I'm just thankful to be in a position where I can continue to compete for championships and help my team win. And, that's all I want to continue to do.
Only one guy is going to get to wear number 55 and play in Super Bowl 55. Way to go, Shark. Frank Clark, buddy. Congratulations. Let's go run it back in Tampa.
Hey, man, congratulations to you, too, man. I want to hear you turn up, both of y'all. You already know. We're going back to the Super Bowl, baby.
Let's go. All right. Thanks, brother.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah, Frank Clark. Wow.
Congrats, Frank.
He just laid it out there. He's so articulate.
We out here, baby.
He just laid it out there and what it's taken over the past 6 months, really. But let's jump in now to what this means. We saw Clark Hunt up there, and we talk about Lamar, but Clark Hunt now is really carving his own legacy. If you see what he's done for this organization, all of a sudden, 7 playoff appearances in 8 years, 5 straight division titles, never been done. Back-to-back AFC titles, never been done. Have a chance to win a back-to-back Super Bowl in 16 years. This is Clark Hunt's leadership. His decision to go after Andy Reid in 2013 is remarkable of what his footprint is now.
I remember when Andy Reid was first hired, the whole idea from Clark Hunt was, I don't want just a winner. I want a consistent winner. I want to compete for championships every single year. And as exciting as last year was, and even 2018, when hosting our first AFC Championship game in Arrowhead Stadium's history, no one was really satisfied with that. And then last year at the Super Bowl, it was amazing. We'll never forget it, but no one was really satisfied with that. It's like, we don't want to be a team that wins it once and then goes away for 20 years. We want to do this every single year. And as we talked to Frank about, it's really hard to do that. I mean, the only team to go to back-to-back Super Bowls in the last 20 years was the Patriots back in the early 2000s. It is really, really hard to go to back-to-back Super Bowls. You're getting everyone's best shot every single week. You're the Super Bowl for a team every single week. And for the Chiefs to find a way to do this with everything else going on all year long with COVID and everything, it's remarkable. And I'm proud that we're a part of this organization. I'm happy for the city that they get to enjoy this because they deserve it.
And the whole kingdom. Yes. All those rural areas, everything, and our Run It backpack here, you can pick that up at Chiefs.com. Patrick Mahomes, you talk about it's really, really difficult to get back-to-back Super Bowls. It's also difficult to defend Patrick Mahomes. Everybody wants to think, well, hey, they surpassed Mahomes. He put on a clinic in this game. He was outstanding.
Yeah, he's absolutely phenomenal. He finishes going 29 of 38 for 325 yards and 3 touchdowns. I know some national pundits were curious if he could move around tonight. Well, I think he answered those questions. He looked pretty good with whatever was going on with his toe. He looked awesome out there. And really just to think about, there's always a chance for you to win a game with Patrick Mahomes. And we saw it last year in the playoffs to the Texans, fall behind by 24 points, fall behind to the Tennessee Titans by 10 points, 49ers by 10 points. And then, of course, the Cleveland Browns last week lose Patrick Mahomes for a while, still find a way to win that game. Then in this game, really everything's going wrong in that first quarter for the Chiefs. They're down 9-0. And what do? They rile off 21 unanswered points because Patrick Mahomes never blinks. This team never blinks. And that's what makes them so special, is you can get them down for a while, but if you don't play a full 60 minutes against this team, you don't have a chance.
Those 3 straight touchdown drives, 28 plays, 239 yards, and 21 first downs. It was incredible. But the receiving, almost 300 yards receiving combined between Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelsey. Buffalo had no answers. They tried everything, and nothing worked.
Travis Kelsey, with 13 minutes left in the third quarter, had 10 grabs for 100 yards. I mean, he was the safety outlet all night long. He was incredible. And then Tyreek, what can you say about him? 9 grabs for 172 yards. And that 71-yard catch and run is the most remarkable thing I think I've seen in a long time in a football game. And does anyone else do that but Tyreek Hill? I mean, first of all, great throw by Patrick Mahomes. 9-yard gain over the middle, rocket of a throw. You can say, you know what, that's a great gain, nice play. But Tyreek's like, no, I want more. He then breaks away from would-be tacklers, gets 71 yards on that play, almost scored. You can't stop that. When you have this play calling, when you have these athletes out there on the field like we do with Tyreek Hill, it's just you can never let up on a play. You can never be like, okay, we'll let him get 9 yards here and tackle him. No, before you know it, he's running toward the end zone. So that's what's so tough about defending this team is whether it's Travis Kelsey, whether it's Tyreek Hill, whoever it is, they're always looking for the extra yard against you.
We're seeing it here on the highlights. Buffalo started zone. Let's play zone. Don't let Tyreek get behind you. So what does he do? He squats and finds those areas in the zone. And Mahomes was so on fire and pinpoint, he was just cutting them up. Here's a play here. This is when he steps out of bounds. They bring it back here. But then all of a sudden, well, this isn't working, so we've got to get up on him. We've got to reroute him, got to get him in man-to-man. And then he pops the 71-yarder, and Buffalo doesn't know what to do. I mean, he was phenomenal tonight in what we've seen him do time and time again. And here's the play where he gets the slant for 71 yards. Incredible performance. But I want to go back to something that can get lost in this game. McCole Hardman muffed a punt that just laid the ball at the doorstep for the Buffalo Bills. The Chiefs got behind 9-0. So what did Andy Reid do? He goes right back to McCole Hardman and dials up a wide receiver screen to get him in the end zone on a 3-yarder. And then he says, oh, let's do a 51-yard end around. So what Andy Reid was telling, I have confidence in you. You're going to help us win this game, instead of saying, well, you're done for the night.
And I love that about Coach Reid, because in a postseason game like this, your season on the line, I think a lot of coaches, if a young player made a mistake like that, you might go away from him for a while. You're worried he's in his own head. Coach Reid says, no, I don't care that our season's on the line. We need you to win this football game. And not only am I going to keep you in there, I'm going to keep going to you, just like you said. So the touchdown catch and also that 51-yarder, those big plays, the 51-yarder I'm talking about here, helped ignite this offense all night long. You had the the 71-yarder to Tyreek. You had the 51-yarder that McCole ripped off. Those big plays are what kept this offense going. And to keep going back to McCole, despite that early mistake, really says a lot about the character of his coaching staff and just believing in their guys.
But let's go to the defense now. We alluded to it with Frank Clark. There were 19 plays in this game, 19 inside the red zone that the Chiefs had to defend. And the fact that they were holding them to threes early, including 7 plays snapped by Buffalo inside the 19. Everybody talk about the Chiefs being last in red zone defense. Tonight, they were outstanding against a good red zone offense in Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
And this Buffalo Bills offense, you're right, they're no joke. They've been the best scoring offense in the NFL since week 7, I believe, scoring over 30 points a game and very good in the red zone. And as I mentioned to Frank, you think about in the red zone before halftime and at the end of halftime, they get to the 3-yard line and the 8-yard line, 6 combined points out of those drives. In my mind, that was the game right there. You can't beat the Chiefs with field goals, and that's what the Bills are settling for.
And then to just keep pounding away, and then to get the red zone takeaway. The interception by Fenton was huge. You and I talked about during the week. You knew there'd be 9 to 10 possessions. That's what was in this game. Who would steal a possession and then come up with a big play? Buffalo did it to Baltimore on the 101-yard return, pick 6. But the Chiefs did it to Buffalo tonight. Not only no 7s, no 3s, no nothing, and an interception by Fenton.
And how happy are we for Rashad Fenton? A 6th-round pick last year. That's what I love about this team is they find guys late in the draft and they integrate them in their system. It's like, I don't care that you're a 6th-round pick. You're going to play. You're going to make big plays in big moments. We saw him make big plays last year, and to get the interception there, it's really happy for him.
I'm also happy for this guy, Patrick Mahomes, the fighting White House Wildcat. It is good to have you with us. Congratulations, my friend. Back-to-back AFC championships. What does that mean as it soaks into you after this game?
Yeah, it's special, especially to get that Lamar Hunt trophy, our late owner's name. I mean, you want to keep that in Kansas City. You want to make sure that we hold on to that. And for the guys to go through the season that we've been through and to keep battling and persevering, it's special to get to this moment.
And Patrick, congratulations, by the way, on a huge victory here. Kind of a similar question, but just what does it mean to you that you're able to deliver something to people in Chiefs Kingdom that they've been waiting for their whole lives? I mean, last year winning the Super Bowl was something that no one will ever forget. And now to get back to the Super Bowl, I mean, people, once again, have been waiting their whole lives in Chiefs Kingdom to see a team like this, and you're giving it to them. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's special. I mean, they show us so much passion week in and week out every single day. And to be able to give that back to them they've had the hard times and now hopefully the good times. And so we're going to continue to battle and continue to try to finish the job and go get that Lombardi trophy.
Patrick, how hard was it for you to get ready for this week? I mean, the Bills do a lot of different stuff. They've been on fire defensively. They shut down Lamar Jackson last week. But just with what you were going through, how challenging was it for you to get ready for this game?
Yeah, I think it's a tribute to the people that we have in this organization and in our building. First, the training staff, making sure that I got the right rehab in to be as close to 100% as I could be. And then the coaches, Coach Reed, Coach Bieniemy, Coach Kafka, with the game plan that we had that we could attack the voids and their different defenses. And I think the guys around me stepped up. The offensive line played their tail off. The running backs, the receivers, tight ends, they all made plays happen. And so when you have that type of team effort from everybody in the building, we can't be stopped.
So, Patrick, we've seen over the years now that when you guys are down, you are certainly not out. You always find a way to fight back, especially in the postseason. Down 9-0 tonight, what was the mentality about how you guys would get back in this game?
Yeah, I just think we've dealt with adversity now. I think that's the biggest thing. We've dealt with every deficit you could possibly think of, it seems like. And so when I went and talked to those guys on the sideline, there was no one hanging their head. There was no one had any doubt. We knew that we were going to get on the field and make stuff happen and continue to battle. We knew our defense was going to make plays like they did all night. And we were able to fight one play at a time to get the lead and then hold on to it.
Patrick, got to ask you, as talking with Coach Reed during the week about it, knew you were going to have to hit these voids in the zones, and you were just lighting them up, man. You were like striking out the side. Then they show press, and then you hit the 71-yarder to Tyreek. How much did your eyes light up on that slant thinking, they're pressing him, we might pop one here?
Yeah, anytime Tyreek's press man coverage, that's a good place to go with the football. And so right when I saw that press man across the board and him in that slot spot, I knew I was going there, and he made the catch and ran for about 195 yards and got down to like the 2-yard line.
So Tyreek's part of that coin. Travis also had a huge game here tonight, Patrick. He had over 100 yards with 13 minutes left in the third quarter. How awesome was Travis here tonight for you?
Yeah, I mean, he's special, man. He's special. The type of weapon that he is. I mean, to me, he's one of, if not the best tight end of all time. I mean, the way he's able to go out there, block, the way he's able to go out there, catch the football, and then make people miss once he catches the football. I mean, he's a special type of guy who puts in the work every single day, and it seems like he gets better every time he gets on the field.
Talk about Tyreek and Travis, but Pringle tonight, McCole muffed the punt. And coach said, hey, let's go right back to him. You throw that wide receiver screen, and then you get him on the 51-yard end around. What about Coach Reed and you still believing in a guy like McCole when he had the tough situation early in the game?
Yeah, I mean, right when it happened, I went right up to him and I told him, "You're going to make a play in this game that's going to change this game." And I mean, he made a million plays after that. And I mean, we have the confidence in everybody on this team. That's why I feel like we have such a special group, is that we never look down on anybody. We expect everybody to make plays, and whenever their number gets called, they go out there and do it.
Congratulations, sir, on a back-to-back AFC championship, and now we got a chance to run it back, headed to Tampa. Way to go, my friend.
Yeah, appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, Patrick Mahomes, big night, 325 yards, 2 great games against Buffalo, both in the regular season and winning this AFC Championship game. Let's go to the podium. Another big game for the Honey Badger. Tyrann Mathieu at the podium.
It's all about team, man. Long as we stay committed to the team, long as we stay committed to our process, continuing to trust our coaches, believe in those guys, everything else will take care of itself. It's not really about, individually how we feel. The only thing that matters at the end of the day is whether you won or lost the game. Obviously, it was a great win for us. Job not done, though. We got one more game to go, and so we'll be ready for it.
Let's go next to Jory Epstein. Go ahead, Jory.
Tyrann, obviously y'all have time to prepare for Tampa, but Brett Veach talked specifically about how your leadership gives him confidence in this defense. What gives you the most confidence about why y'all are ready for Brady and the Bucs?
It's all about preparation. It's all about, the information that you're able to take in and then take it to the field. It's all about understanding and believing in your coaches, all about believing in their plan, the game plan. And then from there, it's all about us going out there, trying to execute that game plan. And, you're not always in the best position. Sometimes, we got to go above the X's and O's to make a play. But, it's all about team. It's all about our coaches.
Go next to Herbie TOP. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Tyrann, during the week you had mentioned how dangerous these Bills receivers were, but it seems like there was a concerted effort today to take away Stephon Diggs. What went into the plan to take away Diggs?
Well, I felt like for the most part, we ran our, same defense that we've been running, for the last couple of weeks or so. Obviously, he's a great receiver. So, great receivers require you to double them from time to time. But at the end of the day, I thought Travarius Ward, I thought Brashard Breeland, Rashad Fenton, L'Jarius Sneed, Dan Sorensen was covering wide receivers today. So I kind of, I had a day off in my mind. It's good to see those guys step up, and win their one-on-one matchups. And that's what it's all about, man. It's all about technique. It's all about leverage, and just making the plays that come to you.
We'll take 3 more. Adam, Nate, and then Vahe. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Tyrann, a couple things. First of all, on Pat, he had a lot to overcome this week. When did you know, not that he was just going to play, but that he was going to play as well as he did today? And Brad, I'll have one follow-up as well.
I knew after the last game, when he was in the locker room, and, he had that look in his eye like, don't forget about me. He's a great talent, man. He's a better teammate. He's a better person. Just watching him work throughout the week, he was the same old Pat. He's the same teammate, same leader, moving around, trying to extend plays, even in practice. Then on top of that, he's a gamer. So it doesn't necessarily matter the situation or the circumstances. He tends to rise above all of that.
I'm curious what your realistic expectations were when you signed here. Did you think that you weren't just going to get a shot at a Super Bowl and a championship, but multiple Super Bowls and maybe multiple championships?
I didn't, to be honest, man, obviously, you have big time dreams, you have big time goals. Obviously, it was a great football team before I got here. Obviously, you want to compete for a championship, but the only expectation I had, man, was to come in and, show the guys who I am, day to day. And so it's 2 years later, and, Practice, still means the most to me. Game day is just it's fun, but, for me, it's all about practice. It's all about how I prepare and how I get my teammates prepared. So, but I'd probably say, that was my only expectation, man, was to come in here, work hard, understanding that, we had a great team, a great coaching staff, and a lot of those things take care of themselves.
We'll go last to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Teicher, I know you guys are back-to-back champions and you've won 24 of 25 before today, but was there a sense in the locker room that guys were still motivated by some naysayers out there that were obviously either picking the Bills or weren't confident that you guys had the chance to go back to Super Bowl based on, winning close games instead of, the traditional blowout that you had tonight?
Obviously, man, we live in a social media world and, the TVs are always on. Some places got 30 TVs in one building, So, you hear a lot, you see a lot. I think at the end of the day for us, man, it's all about team. It's all about whether or not we're committed to each other. It's not necessarily about any outside noise. Just looking through the locker room, looking around the locker room, everybody believes in each other. It doesn't matter if it's Pat Mahomes out there or Chad Henne. It doesn't matter if we're throwing a deep ball to Tyreek Hill or, DeMarcus Robinson. I think in everybody's mind, it's our play to make. So, it's just good to have that bond. It's good to have that chemistry, man. I think that's what keeps, great teams going, is that commitment to one another.
Tyron, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, these DBs now put together back-to-back games in the playoffs, and Tyrann Mathieu has been fantastic. That rest he got meant everything to him. Hey, by the way, make sure you get your run-it-back starter pack. We got flags. We got the,
fanny packs.
We got the fanny packs. We got all kinds of stuff. And actually, AFC Championship. Stocking hat. Anyway, you can go to kcchiefs.com and get it, or your local Hy-Vee can check it out. All right, it's a night to celebrate a back-to-back AFC Championship, but it's also a night to start thinking about the Kansas City Chiefs will try to make another historical statement because no team has ever played in the Super Bowl and been a true road team. Tampa Bay is hosting this game, and the first time in the 55-year history of the Super Bowl that the host team will actually be in this game. And so why not? Heck with this team and what they've had to do. Like, all right, we'll go to try to do that too. And they went down there earlier in this year and had one of their better games in beating Tampa in Tampa.
Yeah, they won that game 27-24, up 27-10 in the third quarter. The Bucs made kind of a rally there at the end, but if you watch the game, it wasn't that close for the first three quarters. But of course, Tom Brady is never out of the game, so he made a run there at the end and made it very close. Tyreek Hill, we all remember what he did in that game. 13 grabs for 269 yards, and Patrick Mahomes throws for 462 yards and 3 touchdowns. This Bucs team is really good, though. We're going to see a much better version of this Bucs team than we saw early in that game. And Tom Brady going to his 10th Super Bowl. This is kind of the perfect matchup for the NFL, isn't it? You have Tom Brady. He's proven that it wasn't the Patriots system that got him to all those Super Bowls. It was him. And here he is back in the Super Bowl in his home stadium, as you mentioned, going against Patrick Mahomes, who at 25 years old is going to be the youngest quarterback in NFL history to start multiple Super Bowls. Should be a lot of fun.
It's 2 weeks. We might as well get you ready for it because they're going to be look back at all these games. The 2018 game in New England, Mahomes threw the pick right before the half, or otherwise he looked the equal of Brady in that game. And then 2019 to come back and beat him in Foxborough, and then to beat him this year in Tampa. All right, let's go to Travis Kelsey. Another big day for Kelsey. He's turned into one of the great postseason performances by any tight end ever.
Awesome touchdown catch you had. I was hoping you kind of walk me through the concept and what happened. It looked like mesh, but what did you see and what happened on the play?
Well, it's actually a pretty from route concept for a lot of people in the red zone. You can get a lot of people mixed up in the play action and the wash of what's really going on in the backfield. And, the end zone, one in the front of the end zone, and hope that one of us can win our matchups, thinking that it's a man coverage. And sure enough, everybody forgot about me, so I was just wide open. I'll tell you what, though, man, it's always just a little bit awkward when Pat puts it up like that, man, because you're open, but you don't know how open you are. So it's just waiting for that thing to come down. Felt like it took forever.
Well, next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Travis, when did you know this week that not only Pat was going to play, but he was going to play and be the Pat that you know? When did you know that was something you saw in practice, anything like that?
Honestly, I left the game last week to see his excitement for the win in the locker room. I mean, I know he had to go through protocols and all of that, but he never seemed like he wasn't himself. He never seemed like there was ever a doubt in his mind that he was going to play in this game. And I think it was just kind of letting everything play out in terms of the protocols or the concussion protocol. And but I mean, he was out there dialed in, throwing the ball all over the field and making the right decisions. And sure enough, today, man, he played his A game and led us to the Super Bowl, man.
The last two, Steve and then Matt. What's Steve?
Hey, what's up, Trav? Hey,
Steve.
Not much. We all know you're a veteran in this league, right? But week to week, no matter who is guarding you, it seems like you still find a way to consistently be a problem for defenses. How is it that it looks like you're still getting better, man, or is it all just routine for you?
That's all I know how to do is attack the day, find a weakness or find something that I can get better at. When I'm in the building, when I'm out on the practice field, when I watch film, I'm my worst critic, man. I tell myself I'm a scrub all the time when I see myself not doing something the right way or getting locked up. And there were a few plays out here, man. That's a good football team right there. Don't let the score, get it twisted. That team can play some football. I think we just had the quarterback back there that could make all the right plays and all the right throws. And sure enough, today he was just flawless. And it led us to victory.
Last to Matt Derrick. Go Matt.
Hey, Travis, congratulations.
Thank you.
Last year was really emotional for you, going through from the AFC title game all the way to the parade. It was a big deal. Is this year different? I mean, is the emotional, where you are right now, mindset-wise, different than it was a year ago right now?
Man, I think it's different in a way of I can't really put my finger on it, man. It's almost like it's a little bit more exciting. I feel like last year it was a question of whether or not we belonged, and this year it was let's go out and prove to ourselves that we are who we are, and the resiliency, how we're going to handle adversity. I just love this team, man. This team has helped me in life in so many different ways, just because of how we handle adversity and how we win football games, and how we just keep getting better. And I love it here, man. I can't wait to go down to Tampa in 2 weeks and give them our best shot.
Travis, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Have a good night, guys.
You too.
However, we're watching video a generation from now. They're going to watch these plays of Travis Kelsey and think like we see when we see Gale Sayers or Jim Brown, or the greats of all time. It's just hard. It's hard to find ways to describe it, how good he is.
I think over the years now we've seen Travis Kelsey and we're starting to think this is normal, but this is not normal at all. Every once in a while you have a tight end that puts together a season kind of like this, and they never do it again. Travis Kelsey does it every single year, 5 straight 1,000-yard seasons. If you include the playoffs, over 1,600 receiving yards now. It's the most receiving yards by tight end in NFL history, including the playoffs, breaking Rob Gronkowski's record. The guy's phenomenal, and he's a huge reason why we're back in this moment.
And the moment is an AFC championship. The moment is a defending Super Bowl champion in the Chiefs headed to Tampa to play in Super Bowl 55. Quick wrap up here, but the NFL has what it wants. It's got its like Karate Kid version here, right? You've got the longtime GOAT, the old GOAT against the young GOAT. It's what we talked about the week of the Tampa Bay game earlier in the regular season. It's the old GOAT against the young GOAT. Here we go for the Lombardi.
Yeah, and it's pretty amazing. I mean, you have Patrick Mahomes, as I mentioned, 25 years old, off to the greatest start for any quarterback in NFL history. And you have Tom Brady, who at 43 years old, threw for more than 4,500 yards this season and 40 touchdowns. The guy still has it. He's been incredible all year long. Now, Mitch, we'll have to look back at this, but when we played them earlier this season, the key with Brady was pressure. And 13 pressures was the number. If you can pressure Brady 13 or more times, his record wasn't very good. We'll dig into the numbers this week, but pressure will be key in this game. And we saw 27 pressures here tonight for the Chiefs. Certainly a good sign.
Chiefs will have to do it without Eric Fisher, injured seriously in this game. So here we go. Big Red, Andy Reid, to try to win a back-to-back Lombardi trophy. It's not been done in this league in 16 years. Celebrate tonight, Chiefs Kingdom. The Lamar Hunt Trophy stays where it belongs. He's Matt McMullen. I'm Mitch Holthus. Get ready to run it back in Tampa, Florida. Chiefs Rewind is brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Kansas City Chiefs, and by Community America Credit Union, the official banking partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.